Welcome to Episode 5 of the Sweet Nature Cruise Cast. Hi, I'm Linz, as always I'm joined by Marky.
Hello.
Hello. And today we're talking about how to convince your significant other to go on a cruise. But first, a little mood music.
I feel we're getting there with it.
It was a little Debbie Downer at the end. I don't think it needed you to do it, but yeah, we're getting there. It's getting closer. One day, soon.
We'll keep working on it.
Yeah.
In today's episode, as you said, we've got our main topic, which is how to persuade your partner to go on a cruise for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of partners, significant others, are like me in not wanting to do it.
Yeah.
And then we've got 3 news stories.
Yes.
That you don't know what they are.
No.
So I'll reveal them later on after
Thank
the topic, and we'll get your reaction to those.
Okay.
But let's kick off with this week's topic.
Yes. Convincing your other half to go on a cruise. Now, it's no secret that you did not want to go on a cruise when I wanted to go on a cruise initially.
No, we've talked about this. We've done an abridged version on sort of our live streams and talked about it a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I really didn't want to go on a cruise.
You thought you were going to be bored?
Yeah.
You thought you were going to have to wear a tuxedo everywhere you went?
Yeah, because what we saw on sort of TV at that point, because when we did our first cruise, that's pre-YouTube. So again...
Is it pre-YouTube?
2007.
I guess so. It did exist, but not in the way that it exists now.
Well, yeah, YouTube started in 2007, I think. But it wasn't that easy. So the stuff that you saw on telly was sort of that old traditional vacation, the holiday TV shows.
Love Boat.
We saw Love Boat. But it sort of portrayed it as something for an older generation.
Mm-hmm.
It portrayed it as sort of the height of excitement being shuffleboard on the deck.
I guess so.
Nothing wrong with shuffleboard. I actually quite enjoy playing it now. But it didn't portray it in terms of what cruising was like then, and certainly doesn't now.
It is now.
But of course, we've now got things like YouTube and a huge amount of content that's out there in terms of if you're looking for a video on any element of cruising, you can probably find it.
Yeah, but I don't know if sitting your partner down and making them watch YouTube is a good way.
Unless it's our channel, of course.
I'm going to be honest, even our channel, because it still might, they still might not get it. I don't think you get it until you walk on the ship.
No, I'd agree. I think cruising is one of those bits, until you've actually done it for yourself, no matter what a video, a brochure, a book tells you, you're always going to have the doubts of it. You'll always have the preconceptions. You're definitely going to think that you're bored. That is the most common thing that we get.
Bored.
Not that we get bored, that people are saying to us, "Will we be bored?"
It's going to be really expensive, and it's not as reasonable as it was now. But I've got a way to get around that. But when it comes, it's just amazing how many couples are not aligned with what they
want to do for vacation, or when it comes to cruising in particular.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to sort of tell the story of sort of persuading me to go on it? Because that's what the topic is.
Well, I suppose I can do. I mean, what happened was back in 2007, I had been on you to say, "Oh, come on, let's go on a cruise." No, we really like it. No.
Oh, you've been talking to me about it for years.
I really wanted to try it. I thought it looked fabulous. Disney had brought out a new ship. Not that we did Disney, but I really fancied Royal Caribbean. I thought it kind of would look good for it. Would be a good, cruise for us. Yeah. And you were like, no. And then my family in the States booked it, and they said, "We've got an amazing deal." It was like a late availability deal.
Yeah.
Do you fancy coming with us? It'll be great. And you were like...
And to be fair, we were going to be out there anyway.
We were going to be out in the States.
We were travelling for that
that's
reason.
True. So the stars did align that way. And it was even when Royal Caribbean used to have hot deals on their site. in dollars.
Oh, like last minute special offer
yeah,
things.
which they don't have anymore. But the stars did align, and you were like, oh, okay, if I have to, I'll book it.
Which sounds so ridiculous
I know. And then we said, okay, we've booked it. And my family then said, whatever you do, don't book an inside for your first cruise. And we were like, we haven't. Because there was an absolute mega deal, in fact, steal on the Grand Suite. On the Grand Suite.
Yes, so, our very first experience of going on a cruise was in a suite.
Which, that was maybe not a good thing to start with.
We did set a level to ourselves at that point.
We are sweetenage. And,
meaning that if we can get a suite, we will.
Absolute mega deal.
Not necessarily that we will.
Then we will. Then we will. So we booked it. You were like, I then took you to an outlet to buy your cruise suit for the for the cruise, which I was going Michael Douglas, Romancing the Stone, cream linen suit.
Is that what I went with?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yes, it is.
I mean, the fact that you made me go shopping to an outlet to buy...
To Boundary Mill, which anyone who's ever been there...
to north of England.
It's awful. It's like...
First, for me it is.
You do not like it.
No, so to go on a vacation I really didn't want to go on. You
and then I made you buy...
Go to an outlet to buy a suit I really didn't want to buy.
No, because your work suits were not...
They were work suits.
They weren't suitable.
Sort of bluey, grey, browny things.
Yeah,
the one for holidays.
I'd like to see you in a lovely linen Michael Douglas Romancing the Stone suit. So that's what we did. We bought it. This made it even worse.
Did I look good in the suit?
You did. You look fabulous.
Good.
So, but I digress.
You do.
So we then went for our usual bit of Walt Disney World Christmas.
Yeah.
As it was then. We then drove down to Fort Lauderdale. We saw the ship. We parked up. We said goodbye to our luggage. We got on, whisked through. Did
we drive down there the same day then?
We drove down.
Or did we go down like the night before or something?
Oh. No, we drove down.
We just drove straight down. It's not far. It's only 3 hours.
We drove down from Orlando. We'd had a few days there. Then we went down, and then we went back again. Because it was only a 4-night, I think.
Yeah.
It wasn't a long.
Yeah, it wasn't 4 nights.
So it was a taster cruise, how they used to be, not how they are now.
Yeah.
So then we got on the ship. It was Navigator of the Seas.
Yeah. Which at that time was still one of the largest ships in the world.
Yeah. It was all decked up for Christmas. It was beautiful. You walked up and down the promenade area, and you said to me, why haven't we done this before? And I was like, you have to be kidding me.
You did swear. I remember.
Yeah. So from that...
But I blame you for not putting it across to me correctly.
No, I was like, you're going to like it. Look, I even brought brochures home. You're like, no, I'm not interested.
No.
And that is the key. I think that is the secret to convincing your other half to go on the cruise.
What's that?
You go on a late availability, good cruise at a good price that you can, that you not have to build yourself up to. That they're like, oh, we can go here and have to, and pay this much, and then we'll have to buy all our food and everything like that. Or we can get on this late availability cruise to try it at what we feel is a very comfortable price that we're comfortable with.
And do you think that the 4-night one is that?
No, not now. You have to go 7 nights.
So would you recommend someone for when they're trying it for the first time to do 7-night or 4-night if they can get on?
7.
You say, I disagree.
Because they're not a true reflection of a cruise.
They're not. I mean, I definitely, for the first cruise, for getting your partner on, I definitely wouldn't say do like one of these booze cruise 2-night weekend ones. They're not a good reflection.
But the 4 nights are becoming like a hen night, stag night, bachelorette.
So you don't really get that?
No, I would go for a 7-night, and depending on, I will go definitely 7 nights. Somewhere on a cruise not too far from you, so you don't have to do a lot of travelling, because that can set you in.
Yeah, so wherever's the nearest port for you that's convenient. I would
say so. There's nearest port that's going somewhere that you might like to go for 7 nights.
Where you can get a bargain.
Now, you could use your travel agents, go to your local travel agent, say, where can I get on? You've booked your time off work, you knew you're going to get a cheeky week away, but instead of going to Tenerife or somewhere where you would traditionally go on a cruise at a good price, so you're comfortable with it, and you're happy with it. And I wouldn't go suite, but I wouldn't go, like my family said, an inside room either.
No, I think a balcony or an ocean view is a great one for that first time.
Yeah.
If you're in the inside one, you might end up feeling a bit claustrophobic. It's nice to be able to see out.
Yeah.
It's definitely, we prefer.
And I don't think Cunard is a good starter cruise for you either.
Now, I'm going to disagree slightly.
Okay, you're allowed to.
Well, it's a discussion. But, I mean, it brings me on to sort of which cruise line is that one that you would persuade your partner to go on to. Because I think it really depends on looking at your partner's interests. Yes. And then figuring out which cruise line is going to best align to them when they're on it.
Yeah, but
Cunard is fantastic. We had some friends from our Facebook group who they did do Cunard for their first one.
They did, and they went to Norwegian fjords.
Yeah, and it worked out perfectly because it had things that interested the partner.
Yes.
On there, and therefore that.
But they weren't looking forward to it.
No, not at all.
They were taking one for the team.
Yeah, and I suspect there was a lot of persuasion went on.
Yeah.
In that house to make that happen.
Yeah.
But I would say that it's having that conversation with your partner. Well, you probably don't need to have that conversation with your partner. If your partner knows, if you know that your partner likes, for instance, archery, or they like puzzles, or they like trivia and quizzes and things like that. If they want to go to a lot of local pub quizzes, there are certain cruise ships that are better for doing than other. And Cunard, for instance, is brilliant for the quizzes.
It is, but I don't want you to be having to get a whole new wardrobe or feeling stuffy when you go.
Yeah.
So if you've got shirts and a jacket and suit and everything that you can fit into and you feel very comfortable with, and...
Well, I think that's the other side of the persuading part of it and convincing your partner to go on it, is that it's finding a cruise ship that also aligns to what they're going to be comfortable with, not just the activities.
Yeah.
So if you mentioned Cunard, so I'll do that one again.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a partner who likes to dress up and likes to wear a shirt and a tie a lot, and lots of people do like that, then that's going to fit better.
Yeah.
If you've got someone who likes to wear shorts and T-shirts and, prefers more that Ibiza scene, then you're probably going to enjoy Virgin Voyages more.
But you've also, with Virgin Voyages, it's a young at heart mindset as well. So Virgin Voyages is a great first cruise if you can get a really good buy. It's just not, you're not driving. Well, you can actually go to Portsmouth, can't you, this year?
Yeah, because they are small.
Ones. They are, I don't know. It's you know your partner better than we do, but it's getting, for me, the way I got you on that ship is with a late deal at a good price, and you're like, for that money, I'm happy to try it. Well, you spot
my inner Yorkshire of liking a bargain. It's like, this would have, I think at the time, it would have normally been about £1,800. It wasn't as expensive. In fact, even less, I think it would have been about,
I can't remember,
$1,300, $1,400. And we ended up paying, I think, $400.
It wasn't a lot.
It were incredibly cheap.
But that's not going to help
and
people
you're like,
now.
Oh, look how cheap this is.
Because that's not a thing now.
No, I mean, you can still get some last-minute bargains, it's definitely worth speaking to a travel agent.
But you're not getting a grand suite for $400.
Probably not. That seems less likely.
But it is, as a couple, it's a lovely cruise. It's a lovely cruise for a family as well.
What's that?
A cruise in general.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Again, depending on how old your children are that you're taking with you, because you can have a family that's made up of grown-up children.
Yeah.
And again, your cruise line that you'll pick for that one would be different. if you've got very young children, then you'll probably prefer one of the more mainstream ones like Royal Caribbean.
The
kids' clubs are fantastic
they're
on them.
Amazing.
Which also means that you get a holiday.
That's the thing.
And again, that's a really good persuasion bit. If you've got young children and one of the elements is to be able to have some time to yourself, going on a traditional holiday, like a traditional beach type one, they might have kids clubs that operate for a couple of hours.
They're not taking them for dinner.
No, these ones you can drop your children off at 8 in the morning and pick them up at 1 o'clock at night. in extreme examples.
Yeah, but
I'm not necessarily saying you should do that.
No.
But you do get time to yourselves.
You do get time to yourselves. That's another good thing. We love a cruise. I'm glad the stars aligned and that we've got you on that cruise.
Yeah.
Because I'd have had to just go on a cruise a month if that was the case.
Yeah. You don't have to now.
No.
You go on cruises with me.
No. So, something easy to get to that's not, not going to break the bank. You feel you get in a bag.
I would definitely go with that element to it because that was sort of a big factor for me. Why would you pay
thousands for something that you think you're going to hate?
And I hated buying a suit for it at an outlet store because I'm like, this is a waste of money for a suit to go on a holiday I don't want to go on.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking, well, it's only costing me X, I'm still getting a holiday, that you get to do that side of it. And again, one of the other bits, it didn't matter as much for us on that first cruise we did, because I think we went to Cozumel and the Bahamas.
Went to the Bahamas.
I think that was it in those 2 days.
It was.
I don't think we went far.
No.
So it wasn't a port thing for me. But again, if from your partner's point of view, if they're interested in visiting certain places, like maybe the fjords or some of the Greek islands that are not as easy to get to, like Santorini and places like that, where you might not want to go to for a fortnight, going and visiting them for a day is that great way of going and trying it. Because we've been to places and then gone, right, we need to come back here and spend more time
Dubrovnik, one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have done that. We've been to Dubrovnik and spent a few days there since. So it's a good way of seeing places without, again, committing to going to them for a longer period.
And also then if you want to go somewhere where you're not sure you're going to love the food, you can get back on the ship. You can get back on the ship and enjoy whatever you would like to enjoy.
And I think, when we talk about that, sort of what's going to float your boat for your partner for that side of it, the best thing about cruising is you're making it your holiday.
Yeah.
If you want to be heavily involved in every activity that's going on, from trivia to entertainment to discos and parties and going to all the different dining venues, you can do that. If you want to do nothing other than lie around a pool and get sort of food from the local grill or pop into the buffet, and you don't want to get dressed up for formal nights and things like that, you don't have to. It's very much your holiday.
Yeah.
And for me, I really didn't think it was going to be that.
No.
I was expecting just this very formal, traditional thing.
So what were you, darling, about cruising? What were you?
What were I?
Yes. Begins with W.
Begins with W?
It's got an R in it.
Right.
No. No.
No, I don't think I was wrong about cruising, because I think how it was portrayed at the time wasn't aimed at me.
Misinformed. You were misinformed.
I was uninformed.
Uninformed. Okay. Well,
the information just wasn't as readily available.
I know, but like I say, I'm not sure making you forcing
them to watch every sort of
cruise vlog maybe.
No, but if there's something in particular that your partner likes to do on a cruise, for instance, if your partner's into, let's go extreme, skydiving,
okay,
then you could show them that on certain Royal Caribbean ships,
the
quantum class ones, they have the skydiving simulator, and you could just show that bit and go, look, these are the sort of things you can do on a cruise ship.
Okay.
Or that sort of thing. Maybe look for the bits that's
okay. I know what you're saying.
As opposed to saying, let's watch this 2-hour ship tour, which may not interest them quite that much.
Yeah.
So have you got any sort of last tips in this section for sort of how to broach the conversation of going on a cruise.
It's a difficult discussion.
I can only sit at the other side of it and say, the things that turned me off of it. How would you sort of bring up the idea of cruising a Stour?
I feel that this conversation's taken a real turn. Maybe pour a drink. Put on the candle.
Set a bit of mood music.
Mood music. And
not our intro one, that was the long one today.
No. And, just say, we've got a week off in so-and-so. Where shall we go? Oh, right. Let's take a cheeky holiday. And by the way, we can get this amazing cruise. Let's try it. Let's try something new.
Would you recommend springing a cruise on someone?
Oh, no.
I think you have to be sort of prepared for going on it. Especially when it's your first time.
I don't know springing one on. Unless you had done it to me.
Yeah, but you'd have been fine because I knew that you'd want to go on a cruise.
The right sprung.
The right sprung. Yeah, but we're not talking about how to surprise your partner for the first cruise.
No, I wouldn't spring it on them, but I would. I think it should be a mutual consent cruise.
You both agreed to it.
You both agreed to it.
Yeah.
You're both happy to try it.
Mutually consensually cruising.
Yes.
Anyway. Hopefully that's been helpful.
Getting a good price, basically.
But honestly, maybe let them listen to this podcast as well.
No.
Or don't let them listen to this podcast. But as I'm so glad that I did get persuaded to go on it.
Yes.
But I can't imagine not having been on a cruise now.
No, not at all.
Oh.
No.
Okay. Right, story time. No, I'm going to read you a story.
Okay. Have a drink. Here we go.
Right. Let's see how you sort of react to these and what you think of them.
Okay.
Drink time for me as well, just to wet my whistle a little bit there.
Okay, lay on.
So the first one, we can speak to this from experience.
Okay.
So Princess Cruises have just announced they're rolling out what we tried on Sun Princess, which is their new dining plan.
Oh.
So this is fleet-wide, every ship from the 14th of September.
14th of September?
14th of September this year.
Well, I mean, it
takes time to roll it in and get the stuff in.
Yeah.
And you can start booking things on the app from the 17th of June. So that's pretty quick.
Yeah.
So for anyone who isn't aware of this, and for you, how they've introduced it on Sun Princess is that they had 3 separate dining rooms, and that's how they're doing it on every ship.
Yeah.
So there'll be 3 separate dining rooms, main dining rooms. A traditional one, which you have either an early or late sitting.
Yeah.
A reservable one, where when you're on the ship that day, you can say, we want to eat at 7 o'clock tonight. And if there's seats available, you can book it. So it's like a virtual queue, but you book it in advance.
Yeah.
The other one is a walk-in at any time. So you might have a little bit of a queue. Okay. You might not.
Okay, like Deck 8.
Yeah.
With the Americana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, they haven't said that they're copying that element of Sun Princess.
I understand.
But historically, your options have been sort of a fixed eating time or queue.
I like it.
I do, because on Sun Princess, we never queued for the main dining room.
No, we didn't.
At breakfast or dinner.
No.
It just seemed to work really well. Now, I know that other cruise lines have had things like their anytime dining and Freedom dining. I think NCL were one of the first to do that.
Freedom, yeah.
But it's one of those things that, if it's done correctly and having 3 separate dining rooms geared up for it,
so it's going to
work.
Yeah.
Because I think these days, speaking to people who we do on cruises, people don't want to always eat at 5:30 or 6:30, depending on which cruise line.
If you've been on the port, if you've had an excursion, if it's formal night and you've had an excursion,
if you've been on an excursion and it's formal night, and you've only been back on the ship half an hour, you have not got time to get changed, do your hair and get ready.
No, they normally try and do it on a sea day or a sea day. There's a sea day afterwards.
But some cruises are port intensive. They don't have a chance.
No, and it's always a pain.
And sometimes you're just not hungry when it gets round to that that point in the day of, we now need to go for a 3-course meal at 5:30.
If it's been a sunny day, you don't want to because
you've been laid out by the pool, you've been having cocktails and nibbles as day's been going on. And then by the time it gets to sort of 7, 8 o'clock, you're ravenous then.
Yeah.
So I think it's great that they've sort of pushed that forward, because we said when we won Some Princess how well that new system worked.
We loved it, yeah.
It'll be interesting if in the future they do take that approach to the walk-in one being a different menu.
Yes.
Because it doesn't say that on the press release. It talks about specifically. Yeah. It'll be the same one, but it's an interesting...
Yeah, no, I understand. Thank you.
Any other thoughts on that?
No, I like it. They make receipt.
It gets a Lindsay seal of approval.
Yes.
A big thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay. Next story. Mm-hmm. It actually covers a couple of different cruise lines.
Oh, okay.
And it's about some new ship orders.
Right.
With people ordering things way into the future.
Okay.
So Windstar.
Yeah.
I often think about with the sort of tall sails ones.
But no, they have the
do have the proper yachts now. They're taking 2 new ships.
Lovely.
One of them that's being built brand new, which is called Star Seeker, part of the Star Class ones. Mm-hmm. That's coming out next December.
Nice.
So very quickly.
Yeah.
And then the other one is called Star Explorer. That's coming out in December 26.
Yeah.
But that's already built. It came out in 2019 and was part of the Mystic Group, but it had been chartered for Quark Expeditions, who I'd never heard of before that. Both ships have 112 suites for a maximum of 224 guests.
Oh, lovely.
And a staff ratio of 1 to 2, so they are properly small ship luxury.
I would love to do a Windstar in Polynesia, the Tahiti ones. I would love that.
But I'm guessing the reason for that other one taking a little bit longer is they're having to completely rebrand it into the Windstar.
Yeah.
Look, feel.
Yeah, it's happening with Disney and their Disney Adventure, so it's a thing.
That was, I forget who that was originally.
I want to say Genting.
Yeah, it began with G.
Yeah.
And then the next one is the NCL group.
Yeah.
They've ordered 8 new ships for 3 different brands.
Wow.
4 new Prima Plus models, which are 5,000 plus passengers, so they're big ships.
Yeah.
So that's their next generation of Prima.
Oh, good grief! Okay.
Is Aqua Prima Plus, or is that still Prima?
Aqua is.
I know they're doing things different.
They are doing it different. I don't know if it's Prima Plus. It has the itinerary I had my eye on for us has disappeared.
That doesn't bode well. Never bodes well with an itinerary disappeared.
So. It might reappear. It could be just having a glitch, but it was the transatlantic Southampton to Boston. It's inaugural. It's disappeared. But if it reappears, then great.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted on that one. But they're coming out a little bit later down the line in 2030, 32, 34 and 36.
Good grief.
So that's their next 12-year plan under NCL. They're doing 2 new ones for Oceania.
Lovely. I've got to try Oceania.
They're a little bit sort of nearer to us. They're 1,450 passengers coming out in 27 and 2029. And then 2 new ones for Regent Seven Seas.
Wowzers.
Coming out in 26 and 29.
Wow.
So if you look at that 8 ships that they've ordered, they're for delivery between 2026, 25 technically, 26 was the earliest for NCL, wasn't it? And 2036, so they've got a 10-year launch plan.
Wowzers.
So you'll have a new NCL group ship virtually every year.
Oof.
Now, it did say on the press release, subject to finance being accepted. It actually genuinely did. Well, so it's subject to the finance approval.
That is the world. Welcome to the real world.
Apparently, when you're spending billions on your ships, you have to have the finance approved as well, which I think is very good.
We will take that.
So, anything there sort of take your fancy?
No, Windstar, yes. Windstar. We keep talking about going back to NCL. And then I cost it, and then we go. Oh. So we will get on it. It's like we said. We know we have a price in mind. It's just a little bit out of that at the minute. We will get on it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. There's obviously demand for. If you look at in particular sort of Windstar, Oceania, and Region, which are the more luxury liners that's out there. There's obviously the demand there for them to bring new ships in. So you've got 2 new ships in each one of those ones.
Yeah.
Which, when those come out, we might see a little bit spare capacity. So if they need to, that means they're full pretty much all the time. Yeah. And therefore, the price is going to stay very high.
Yes, yeah, like with Royal Caribbean.
Well, like with anyone. If the demand's there for it, why sell it cheaper?
Yeah.
They have a business. But hopefully, we'll see a little bit more sort of come out from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the final...
That wasn't it?
No, that was a 2-for-1.
Okay.
The final one is a story that we had been keeping an eye on because we were quite sad about it when it happened. And that there was a recent auction, I don't think it was on eBay, for the American Queen ships.
Oh, I'd love to go on those.
And because American Queen as a company went into Chapter 11 receivership last year, which was a shame because they do the big...
Was it last year or early this year?
Recently. Let's just go with recently, that way we're not wrong.
Yeah.
And we were really sad because the big paddle boats that they do
every time.
Just look
I costed it up so
stunning.
many times.
Well, we watched Visit With Us when they went on American Queen.
Yeah.
And it just looked absolutely stunning. We're like, we have got to do that. We saw them at a cruise show that we went to and picked up the brochure details. We're like, we're definitely going to do it. So we were absolutely gutted when they went over. Anyway, it went to auction. Mm-hmm. Their 4 main river cruise ships have all been sold. They actually had, apparently, I don't even remember reading this, a couple of small yachts as well.
Okay.
Which American Cruise Lines have not bought them. Someone else bought them in the auction. But what I thought were interesting was just how much the ships went for.
Right.
Because they're not as much as you would expect. So American Queen went for $2.1 million.
Still, it's not insignificant. But I know it's not $1 billion like Beyond.
American Empress, 1.6 million. Right. American Countess, 1.6 million. American Duchess, which I'm not familiar with, so I'm assuming it's smaller or older, only $200,000. You can't buy a house in the UK for that. We could have bought our own river ship and gone up and down the Mississippi.
That would have been lovely.
That could have been our new studio. I need to keep an eye on future auctions.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought it was an interesting story because we'd been following it.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything in the press release of when it's going to go back on sale.
Yeah.
But I would hope it's very soon because obviously they've spent the money, so they want to get out.
And give them.
As part of the auction, they bought all the trademarks and everything like that. So hopefully we'll see it out. But that brings us up to the end of the podcast.
Well, thank you, darling.
Cheers, Lynn.
Cheers. Thank you for listening. We hope we've helped. And
a little bit.
Have a lovely day.